from the United States Air Force will be in town for this year's Wings Over Houston Air Show. This is always a huge attraction for Houstonians and people from outside of town, but for the leader of the Thunderbirds, it's a homecoming. KPRC2 investigator Mario Diaz is a huge air show aficionado and joins us this morning. Good morning, sir.
Hey, good morning. How you doing today?
So far, so good.
So you mentioned the fact that this is a homecoming, and no doubt it is. You could actually see the smile on the commander for the United States Air Force Thunderbirds as he departed his plane to be landing at Ellington yesterday. His name is Lieutenant Colonel Justin Elliott. And, you know, for him, this is a really special weekend, not only because he's coming back to Houston, but he shared with me that he actually used to work this air show when he was younger. In fact, what he used to do was he'd run out onto the fields, help fuel up the fire bombs that they actually used during the show to help recreate the World War II bombing runs. But now Lieutenant Colonel Elliott is flying the patriotic F-16. He grew up in Jersey City until he left for college, and for Elliott, this weekend's air show is one that he has marked on his calendar for quite some time. And the support team, this is the group around him, has been excited for his homecoming. I spoke with Elliott for several minutes on the tarmac at Ellington, where he shared how special it is to be home.
It's an incredible lifetime opportunity to bring this team here. You know, I grew up here. I spent 18 years in this city, left to go to college, you know, way back in 2001. And now to bring this team back here 22 years later, representing the entirety of the United States Air Force, the country as a whole, as the commander of the Thunderbirds, I mean, that is the honor of a lifetime, something I will never forget.
What an experience for Lieutenant Colonel Elliott, who tells me that he still has many family members here in the Houston area. I suspect that many of them might be going
I'm sure,
this weekend,
right? Hopefully they didn't pull their backs like I did. You know, it's always amazing to watch them, whether it be in person or even on social media. They're always posting videos. And it's amazing to me how close they fly.
Oh, yeah, like this. Look, you got the camera right there? They could be this close.
It's
the wings could be
wild.
this. It truly is. And, you know, only a few inches is what separates these fighter jets as they are traveling hundreds of miles per hour. I had the number 2 plane pilot, Major Zachary Taylor, provide me with an idea of the proximity of the tightest of spaces, just hundreds of feet above the ground. How close does this number 2 get to a number 3 or number 1 during the course of the show?
You want to take a walk?
Sure.
All right. So during our diamond pass review, we talk about being 18 inches apart. So we have this red stripe, white stripe, and blue stripe. I will be under number 1's jet, and I will be just inside this blue stripe on the show, and I'll have 18 inches from my canopy to the bottom of his wing, and I'll have 18 inches from my right wing tip to number 3, who's on the other side of the formation.
Hold this position. You indicated that there is something in Houston called uneven heating.
Yes.
It forces turbulence.
Oh, yeah.
Can that turbulence jump you up a few inches here and there?
Yeah. The good thing is we're flying so close, usually we're all bouncing together, but it is a lot of focus and attention as you're looking at your reference, what you're flying with, to essentially not react to the movement and make your small corrections throughout the maneuver.
You practice at it, and you've been doing this for quite some time, but how difficult is it to remain that disciplined even when there's something that you're not expecting takes place?
It takes a lot of practice. So throughout the season, we move from very far outside the wing to under the missile rail, the red stripe, the white stripe, the blue stripe, and now we're just inside the blue stripe. So until you get the stability and the comfort level of being under the wing, that close to another airplane, we don't move in until you're ready for it.
No way, Jose. Only 18 inches. That's wild. That's wild. You mentioned uneven heating. What is that?
So uneven heating, when he said it, I was just like fascinated by it, okay? I'm an aviation guy.
Yeah, right.
And he said to me that you have to keep in mind that the topography of certain areas is always different. And as soon as he said it like that, I knew right away because I grew up in Las Vegas, aside from growing up in Lake Jackson. I lived several years out there. Where they're based out of. They're based at Nellis Air Force Base. And the uneven heating is created by the landscape, can be created by homes as well. A lot of subdivisions around that area of Ellington Field. Unlike, let's say, if you're flying in Huntington Beach, California, which has an air show,
right.
or Pensacola, Florida, which the Blue Angels have an air show there, or Jones Beach, where I've seen the Thunderbirds in the past. There's nothing there except the water. It's cool. So that creates that turbulence, and their main objective is once they're flying, yes, they're all so close that they're all going to feel the turbulence at the same time. But the key is to have your eyes on that lead pilot and just be watching him as you're just 18 inches underneath that wing.
And then when you factor in the environment of our airspace, it's so busy.
And it's also choppy. They were telling me that it was choppy. Quick point, though, it was interesting. One of the planes, they have underneath the belly of the plane, they have the numbers. One of the numbers is actually upside down. Why do you think airplane number 5, it has a number that's upside down?
So the other pilot can see it?
Right. That airplane spends most of its time inverted.
Right.
So that way they're able to make that eye contact while they're in flight demonstration to see that plane.
I know you said that this is a big thing for you. You're an aviation aficionado. It's also become a really big event for your family, for your son Hudson.
Well, yeah, we celebrated for Hudson. In fact, this is video of him at Jones Beach, I believe. It is. This is Hudson when he celebrated his 2nd birthday. And you'll see him there in a second. This is a little bit, there he is right there. There he is with Mama. But he celebrated his 2nd birthday. In New Jersey at an air show. He's been to about 11 of those. I'm not familiar exactly what's going on here with the silent auction, but don't remember seeing one of those at the air show.
That's what was next in your camera roll.
But this is a wonderful event for children and for adults. And here's why. Because not only do you get to watch everything, they have so many planes on the ground. They have veterans from past wars. Used to have a whole bunch of World War II veterans, and it was great to talk to them. But your child actually gets to go inside and sit in the cockpit of a helicopter. They get to go inside one of the big C-130 transport planes. They actually get to go and feel what it's like. It's also an excellent recruiting tool for the military. They want to have children show up. They want parents there. You want to feel patriotic.
That's when that passion starts.
And that's exactly where the passion starts. So for my son, again, he's been, I think, 11. I was doing the count. I was coming in 3 in Jersey, 3 in New York, 3 here, a couple more. And he just loves looking up in the sky and seeing all of that beauty that just comes over. It really is marvelous.
For parents interested in bringing their children, there are things that you want to be mindful of when going out.
Yes, you're absolutely right. You know, if you can, headphones. Hudson always wears the headphones. Always wear the headphones. You want to have some sunblock, especially on a day like tomorrow, because we've been out to the one in Houston. It gets hot. You got on that tarmac.
The weather will be spectacular this weekend, though. 70s.
Absolutely perfect. But sometimes you still have that sun. So you want to get that. You want to
SPF.
Get SPF. You know, they have plenty of food out there. But get there early. You can see all the other shows. Those pilots are very accessible. Not the Thunderbirds. They're kind of hard to get in touch with them. But they do have a lot of ambassadors that are going to be walking around throughout the tarmac there. That you can talk to them at times. So really, really a fantastic event. I know we had 24 items this weekend. I'd put this one near the top. For me, it's 25.
Right.
I got an 8 a.m. baseball game with my son on Sunday. So that's the priority in our family. We've got a doubleheader on Sunday.
Okay. Well, we wish them the best of luck. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it.